Hi, welcome back to my channel. And as everyone knows, Real Housewives of Potomac is coming back this Sunday. And Candace, Mia, and Giselle, they've clocked in early. So let's talk about it. Okay, so let's start with Mia. Mia made a post yesterday asking for prayers for her family. And in that post, she lets us know that while she was on vacation, I guess with her family, that her brother-in-law pretty much did a hostile takeover of their business, freezing their assets, locking them out of the business, and pretty much stopping Mia from getting her salary. Now, this is very crazy to me, and this is one of the reasons why I had to make this video. A few hours before Mia made that post, I was on Twitter Spaces with a couple of my mutuals, and we were talking about Mia and the business and how she does not own that business and how her husband and his brother own the business. So last season, when Mia was walking around talking about, I'm the boss CEO, and shuffling pamphlets, girl, you wasn't the boss. But see, I knew that already. My common sense never allowed me to believe none of what Mia was talking about season 6. Okay, so without doing much digging, it was real easy to find out that Gordon and his brother own these businesses together. Now, I don't know the breakdown of percentages, like who owns what, how much was invested by whom. I don't know that, nor do I care to know that. But what we do know is Mia is wife number 4. And we also know that Gordon has grandchildren that are adults. So with that little bit of information, I knew right away that a lot of Mia's story last season wasn't the truth. When she was bragging about how much she was making yearly, her salary, I said it last season and I said it the other day on Spaces that I really hope that Mia is saving the money that she's getting from whatever her salary is or wherever the salary is coming from. I hope she's saving it, because her being wife number 4, Gordon and his brother owning these businesses together, I don't know how they set that shit up, but I knew for a fact, I was like, Mia is not going to be able to touch that money if anything happens to Gordon. And it wasn't even a full 24 hours. She made this post saying that the brother locked them out of the company and has taken them for everything that they have. Now, that sucks. I feel bad for Mia. I predicted this happening, but I thought that would be long in the future when Gordon is no more. I had no clue that this was right around the corner, and Gordon is still here. Yeah, this really sucks for Mia and her family. Like, I don't I don't know these people. We have never even seen Gordon's brother, so we don't know what kind of people he dealing with. But I just don't believe that we have the full story yet again. We know that Mia is very creative with the truth, and I feel like what she posted isn't the full story. But I will say she has definitely secured her storyline for season 8. She definitely did that, because this is something else. Like, what? You were just bragging last year how you're rich and you don't deal with broke bitches, and that Candace was low budget and you talk to only your rich friend. I mean, you had so much to say. You started a candle line just to beef with Wendy. And now look, and I'm not saying that this is good for her and I'm not happy that this is happening to her. I definitely think she'll be okay. And I definitely think that, things will work itself out. Something about that just gives me, I feel like Mia's stretching the truth as always. But we will see. I'm pretty sure it will either work itself out or we'll watch it play out season 8. So while we're discussing Mia, Bravo dropped the sneak peek of season 7's first episode, and Giselle got questions for Miss Mia. Now, we all saw the post that Mia made a few months back, I guess at the top of filming or right before they started filming season 7, where she pretty much says that she has a cancer scare, but the post was misleading and it had a lot of people concerned for Mia. So a lot of the blogs were retweeting Mia's post, and I immediately saw her picture and I saw prayers and cancer, and my heart sank. my mother passed away from breast cancer that mets to the liver. So when I saw that, I immediately thought of her children. I thought of her family, like, oh my God, her kids are so little. Like, oh my God. I felt terrible. And then I read the post and I was like, what is she saying? Like, what's going on? And so from what we do know, Mia seems to be okay. And it was a scare. And it wasn't, the worst. It could have been a lot worse. But I felt taken advantage of. I didn't like that Mia would use her scare to get sympathy from viewers or from the public. I just didn't like it. Now, I understand that going through a scare is terrible. Like, it's horrible, and I feel for Mia. If she thought for a second that she definitely had cancer, I understand why she would be afraid. I understand her anxiety. I understand her freaking out. I understand her making the wrong decisions. But in the clip, when Giselle is asking her about it, she says that she wanted to use her platform and she wanted to use it for a purpose. You wanted to use this situation as a teaching moment, or you wanted to bring awareness, or whatever the case may be. I feel like there was a responsible way to do it, and I don't think that she did it in a responsible way. She made that post. She posted that people were sending her flowers, and then she just disappeared from social media. Now, I understand, take care of yourself first. That makes sense. I get it. But I just feel like what she did was reckless. A lot of people were nervous for her. A lot of people were sad and scared for her. And you just kind of left people hanging. And like, again, if you were using this to help people, you didn't help people. You caused a lot of people to be, you kind of manipulated a lot of our emotions. And I didn't really like that. I really didn't. Because I swear the moment I saw that, it literally took me back to when my mom was diagnosed. And I just could not help but think, like, oh my God, her children are so young. You know what I mean? Like, oh my God, please, Lord, help her. And then I read it and it is like, girl, what? So I'm not mad at Giselle for calling Mia out on that. But see, where my problem with Giselle is, Giselle seems to think that everyone owes her an explanation all the time. And that shit is getting tiring. I understand that she has a job to do. I get it. I'm not mad. I actually like Giselle. But some of the shit that she does, I just can't get behind. Now, yes, you have a right to ask Mia, like, girl, what was you doing? I do want them to kind of get on her, because if you playing in our face, that's not okay. But what bothered me with Giselle is, like, you had a meeting with Karen. Like, bitch, call Mia up and tell her what you thought about Mia. But why do you have to call Karen aside, talk to Karen about it, try to get Karen to be on your side? Then when you confront Mia, you twist Karen's words around. So it's like, you ain't no better than Mia. You just as silly and as reckless as Mia is. I'm getting kind of tired of her always feeling like she's the principal and everyone owes her an explanation. Everyone got to see her about their life and their business. She did that season 2 with Robin and Juan. And Juan had to give her the read that everybody gives her. Where's your man? Leave me and mine alone. She did that with Karen about her taxes. She did that with Karen about Blue Eyes. Last season, she was doing that with Wendy. Like, why are you dressing like this, Wendy? Why did you get plastic surgery, Wendy? Are you insecure, Wendy? I'm getting a little tired of Giselle. I'm really getting a little tired of Giselle. Like, we can never discuss your business, but you always feel like you have some type of authority, some type of invisible authority over the cast. And I'm kind of sick of it. If you're not going to discuss your business, then girl, stop thinking that you have a right to chastise everyone and their decisions and what moves that they make. Because we tired of seeing that shit, Giselle. We are. So this brings me to Giselle and Candace. So Candace has been lighting Giselle up for the past, 2-3 days? And it's well deserved, because Giselle cannot help herself. She is up to her shady antics, and she's gone too far this time. So as many of you already know, this season, Giselle is going to make a couple of accusations against Candace's husband, Chris. I cannot wait to see how this plays out because I'm not buying it. It seems like Giselle is on some bullshit. And after this recent interview that she did, I'm even more convinced that Giselle is on some bullshit. The interviewer asked Giselle where her and Candace's relationship stand. And Giselle takes this opportunity to remind us of how supportive she was to Candace during the season 5 melee. Now, I know a lot of people feel that Giselle only supported Candace because her hate for Monique was much more than her hate for Candace. I'm kind of 50-50 on that because I do feel like Giselle went into season 5 wanting to take Candace down. And she decided to switch it over to Monique when Monique messed up by putting her hands on Candace and getting violent, right? My take on that is I do think that Giselle knew that Monique really wanted to do to her what she did to Candace. There was no space for her to tolerate what Monique did because she knew it could have been her. That is the reason why she brought security. She knew that Monique was pissed off and she knew that Candace didn't deserve it. She knew what it was. I don't think that there was any other stance for Giselle to take other than the one she took. Monique was wrong and Monique had to get up out of there because if Monique had stayed for season 6, it would have been her next. And she knew that. So it wasn't so much that she hated Monique more than she hated Candace, in my opinion. It was, if I tolerate her beating up Candace, she coming for me next. And she knew that. And she had to make sure that that was not her story. But anyways, Candace not being appreciative of Giselle's support, I feel like that was some malarkey. Like, bitch, that's some bullshit, and you know it. You were out there drowning in Monique's binder at the reunion. The only person who tried to save you was Candace. Robin didn't even go as hard for you. Robin didn't even buck for you the way that Candace did. So what do you mean she wasn't appreciative of you? She kissed your ass all last season. And that is why I feel like Giselle is on some bullshit. I think Giselle has seen that a lot of the viewers, they're not buying what she's selling as far as Chris was inappropriate with her. So she kind of got to throw some shit out there. She got to get in front of the story. She got to throw some stuff out there to be like, well, Candace was a bad friend to me and this is why I did this to her. She has to level the playing field. She knows she gonna look bad in this upcoming season and she got to do some damage control beforehand. Because what do you mean she wasn't appreciative? Like, what did she do to you that would make you say that? But yeah, Candace has been wearing Giselle out. One of the interviews that I saw just today, she was saying how the teardown is still in ruins. I almost fell out on the floor. I was in public and I saw that and I was like, oh my God, Candace is a mess, but I love it. I love it. I know a lot of my mutuals feel like Candace is going too far, that, Giselle's not even fighting back. And I mean, is she going too far? I don't know if that's for me to say. I don't have a husband, but anybody and everyone that is in my life, I love them and I protect them. I ride for mines. I'm going to let you know how much you cannot play with me or mines. And clearly, that's how Candace feels because Candace has been letting Miss Giselle have it. She has not let up off of that lady's neck. And I'm sorry, I'm here for all of it. If you watch my reviews last season, then you know how much Wendy irked my nerves when she was like, he's such a good man. That shit irritated the shit out of me. I was like, Wendy, stand up. But to be very fair, like, I have had a change of heart. Well, not so much a change of heart, because I feel like towards the end of the season, I recognize where Wendy was coming from. I still think that she did too much. She did a lot of things last season that just were not, that they just didn't amuse me. But as far as her husband goes, I can't be mad at that lady for protecting her family. I really cannot. Like, that's her husband. She loves that man. So she's like, don't play with him and don't play with his name and his character. And I can't really be mad at Wendy for that. Like, I really do understand why Wendy was very upset with... I had to put myself in her shoes for a moment. And it's just like, if somebody played with me like that, I would wear them out too. I would give them a stern warning, like, bitch, I will mop the floor with you. Don't try it. So I do understand where Wendy was coming from. And now that I'm seeing what she's doing to Candace, now I really get where Wendy is coming from. Because Giselle, you doing too much. Like, you saying that this man tried to make you his side piece. It's like, Giselle, how long you gonna be doing this in my Brooke Valentine voice? How long you gonna be doing this? No, but seriously, when Giselle says that Chris was trying her, that he was trying to make a pass at her, and that he made her feel uncomfortable, and then she gets the assist with Ashley saying that Chris DM'd her at 1 a.m, and who was he at the hotel with? Not his wife. I feel like this is something that Ashley and Giselle cooked up on the off season to ensure that we would have a good season 7. And I appreciate you guys putting in work, but at whose expense? Because when you say that someone's husband was trying to make you their side piece, that's like, girl, are you saying that Candace needs, because that to me is grounds for divorce. Are you saying that Candace needs to leave her husband, that her husband is no good? Because what you're saying, literally, to me, that's what that means. Like, she needs to be calling up a lawyer. Is that what? If that's not what you're saying, then girl, what are you saying? Are you saying this man is a predator? He's a cheater. He's deceptive. He's lying to Candace. Candace doesn't know who she's married to. Because that's what you're saying. When I first heard about this, though, my initial thought was, Chris probably was flirty with Giselle. I mean, we've seen him be flirty with Giselle. We've seen him tweet that, oh, Giselle is his favorite housewife. We saw that messy, shady game that they like to play. They played it at Karen's party last season, where which, housewife would you get with besides your own? And he said Giselle. Candace also answered that he would choose Giselle. And I hate that damn game because these men don't know how to shut up and lie. You supposed to say nobody. You supposed to say no one. I wouldn't want no other housewife. You're not supposed to pick nobody. But, I digress. I feel like Chris has always been real flirty with Giselle, and Giselle's been flirty with Chris as well. Like, we saw, what was it, season 4, when they went to Juan's birthday party at the haunted house thing. She grabbed Chris from Candace and was, arm in arm with him. And she was like, girl, I took your husband. We've seen her even just last season when she went to visit Candace's house, and she was like, where's Chris? Does Chris know I'm coming, right? He knew I was coming, right? And it's like, that's not how you talk about someone that makes you uncomfortable. You don't want to encounter them. You don't want them to cook for you and make you snacks if they make you uncomfortable. So I'm sorry, but y'all gonna really have to show me. Those producers are gonna have to be real creative to get me to believe anything that Giselle says about this situation right here. Because I'm sorry, I'm not buying it. Not at all. I'm not. I don't believe any of it. I feel like Chris has made it very clear that he'll do whatever he has to do for his wife to have an easier time on this platform. And the main thing that we've seen him do is definitely stroke Giselle's ego. I think Chris, like a lot of us, don't probably like that people throw at Giselle all the time that she doesn't have a man. I know I don't like it. I don't feel like she's wrong to put her children first. Her children are her priority. And maybe when they're all off and whatever, and maybe she'll let us know who she's dating. I don't know. But I've never liked, that people say, oh, Giselle ain't got no man, that's why she's coming after people. But damn it, Giselle, every season you have to prove these people right, because you come on here and you make yourself look miserable and you attack people's husbands season after season. And it's like, girl, why? What's really right with you? I'm of the belief that she showed her hand last season. Her and Ashley showed their hands last season. I think that they are a little bit bitter and resentful that Chris was able to come on this platform and be well liked and well received by the audience. Even people that don't like Candace, a lot of them like Chris. We've seen many a tweets saying, "Hey, get rid of Candace and keep Chris." I think that's disrespectful, but we've seen it. But like I said, I think that they're resentful that Chris was able to come on this platform and be well liked and well received and get so much attention where the attention should be on the women. I think that's why Giselle made the comment last season that Chris was riding Candace's coattails. This is why Ashley was at the reunion saying that Chris was depressed and that he was drinking too much and that he didn't have a job. I think they showed their hand last season that they were coming for Chris. They sent a warning. And cousin Chris, I hope you learned something from this. I really do. This is what happens when you friendly with bitches that don't like your wife. You went out of your way to be nice to Ashley. You went out of your way to be nice with Schmeagle. You're constantly kissing up to Giselle, and look what they did to you. I feel like when Ashley came on the show, season 1 with Michael, she thought that, you know, her and Michael would be the fun couple. They're always drinking Coronas. Her husband owns a club. You know, her husband owns a beach house. Everyone was going to love Ashley and Michael. And Michael came off as this weirdo predator. And he has not been able to beat the allegations because every season he does something more weird and more disgusting. But Candace's husband was able to come on the show and get along with people. He's friends with Big Chris. He's cool with Juan. He's cool with Ray. And Michael turns everyone's stomach. And I don't think Ashley will ever get over the fact that, you know, Chris was called to be a witness against Michael in the butt grabbing situation. So last season, we saw it. They tried to make G look like he was the predator, as if he was worse than Michael Darby. And this season, they're trying to make Chris look like that. And I can understand where Ashley's coming from. I mean, she married this man for a come up. She married this man for survival. I get it. It does her no good to let people, you know, say how disgusted they are by Michael Darby and talk about, you know, his predator ways. That doesn't help her, nor does it help her children. But your husband did these things, Ashley, and he did these things on camera after being warned not to do some of these things. So it's like, girl, I mean, you really need to take that up with your husband. You can't get mad at the rest of us for talking about it. But what you really can't do is make us believe that Chris makes you guys uncomfortable when Michael Darby is right there. I mean, Giselle, you sat up on the reunion stage last season and defended him. You said that Gordon was worse than Darby. Girl, what? Girl, what? So I'm sorry. Like I said, I'm not buying it. And Giselle, when you picked the fight with Chris and Candace, you knew what was coming with it. I feel like she's probably happy that Candace is wearing her out because we're talking about Giselle. So at some point, Giselle's name is going to trend because Candace is lighting her up. And I'm sorry, like, Candace don't run out of material. She don't. Like, she literally has a gift for reading. The bitch for real is the librarian. Like, I'm sorry, she's living up to her name. She's living up to being the librarian because Candace is reading Giselle down. And I'm sorry, every bit of it is chef's kiss. But I tell you one thing, you know, I've been riding with my Potomac girls since season 3. And, you know, it's been some bumps on the road, but Real Housewives of Potomac, they really are that girl right about now. Like, they are giving. If I wasn't excited about season 7, baby, I'm excited about season 7 now. I can tell you that. Because from what I hear, everybody has clocked in this season. Ain't no dead weight, and I'm ready for the ride. I'm ready for all of it. So, you know, Robin is my girl. Robin is forever my girl. Now, if she's co-signing this foolishness, I don't know how I'm gonna be feeling about Robin because I really do love her. But if she's co-signing the foolishness, I'm gonna have to get Robin together a little bit. Ashley, I don't care for Ashley, and I don't really think it's gonna change. It's not changing for me when it comes to Ashley. Yeah, I'm good on Ashley. Giselle, I actually really like Giselle, but I'm going to read her as I see fit this season. And I feel like I'm probably going to have to read her the entire season, but we shall see. When it comes to Mia, Mia is a liar. Mia is a fool. I can't get behind Mia and her fake sophistication. I just really cannot. But I mean, I'm going to watch. Because, I mean, I'm sure it's going to be entertaining. I'm sure it is. I'm sure it is. Karen, I used to love me some Grand Dame. I used to love Karen, but after she called HR on Candace, I just don't see it from Miss Karen. But you know, I'm a fair person. If she says some shit that's right, I'm gonna be with her. If she says some bullshit, I'm gonna call her out. It is what it is. When it comes to Dr. Wendy, I'm giving Dr. Wendy a pass. I'm giving her a clean slate this season. Okay, I'm gonna forgive her for her foolishness last season. Okay, this season we starting over. Please don't embarrass me, Wendy. Please don't embarrass me because I want to be on your side. You my West African sister, girl. I want to be on your side. And y'all already know it's Team Candace over here. Um, I'm riding for my girl. I'm ready. I'm ready for all her antics. I'm going to stick beside her. That's my girl, and I'm going to stick beside her. Now, if she do something that's wrong, I'm going to call her out. I am. And I'm gonna let her know she fucked up. But that's my girl. I'm riding for mine. I already told y'all. So let's get into season 7. But yeah, that's pretty much all I got to say. I will see you guys back after the first episode premieres of season 7. Please like, comment, and subscribe. Thanks for watching.